Anderson, working sales and marketing with the Bells. I'm here with Terry Stach, State Farm agent. How are you doing today, Terry?
I'm doing good, Nate. How are you? Looks like you've been missing that barber.
Yeah, big time. Definitely got a lot of hair here coming out the ends. It's kind of ridiculous. I basically have to wear a hat at all times right now, or else my hair is terrible. I know you were saying that you had to give your kids haircuts or something like that. Is that right?
Well, listen, I you can ask my hairdresser. I usually go every 2 weeks, and I have been going insane. And last week, I had a Britney Spears moment, and I cut my own hair. So hence why I'm wearing the hat. But I wasn't looking too different than you are right now.
Yeah.
And then we got a little crazy at the house, and my kid got a haircut too. But we got creative, and so we did he looks like an old man. We just shaved the top off.
Beautiful.
So yeah. And that's not going to happen to him. He's a lucky kid. Our family, we don't go bald like that. So he's just one of the experiences of life. So.
Yeah. If you're not going to experience it in your 40s, you might as well experience it, when you're a kid. So,
well, and I also told him, I said, hey, if you're ever going to do anything like this, now's the time to do it, because you don't have to answer to your friends, like recess, nothing. And he's actually embraced it. So, yeah, he's embraced it. I said, let's fix it. And he hasn't. So
I love it. All right, man. Well, just going to ask you a couple questions here. So obviously you work for State Farm, you're an insurance agent. So how did you get into that? What kind of do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I ended up in Whatcom County because my dad was in the military, and we moved around all over. I've lived in Southern California, Chicago, North Carolina, South Carolina. And I ended up, my dad got a job in Whatcom County when I was a sophomore in high school. And so I came here as a junior in high school. So I graduated from Bellingham High, started college at Western, and then I finished up college in South Carolina at a small school called Winthrop University. And I just ended up back here a few years after graduation in 2004. And when I made the decision to stay in Whatcom County, and this was my home now, my home, never moving anywhere else. I was trying to figure out what can I do in Whatcom County to stay here and not have to, shop for jobs every couple of years. And it just turns out I had to start my own business. And so just doing research, that's how I got into the insurance business. I was traveling a lot with my previous job, and I never wanted to have to make a decision. Do I go on this work trip, or do I go to like my son's baseball game or school play or choir concert or things like that? And so that's why I chose to go into business for myself. And insurance just seemed like a good fit with my skill set. And teaming up with State Farm, it's been a blessing. So yeah, that's why I got into this business. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, we do love our local sponsors, and one of the best things is you're definitely a local guy through and through here. So really appreciate you being a partner with us. If you Bells fans don't realize, Terry Stach is promotion with us. He's been doing the player of the game since last year. He'll be doing it for at least a couple more years and beyond, it feels like at this point. Who knows if it'll ever end, but Terry, so, how did you become involved with us, with the Bells, and what's kind of some of your favorite things or one of your favorite memories of being a partner with us so far?
Well, I played baseball all growing up. I played actually for Bellingham High School my junior year. I didn't play my senior year. I've played softball. Baseball's just been in my blood. And so when I got into business for myself, I just was waiting for the right time to team up with you guys, to be honest. And it just all worked out, and it came together. And when we came up with the idea of the Terry Stach State Farm Player of the Game, that's exactly right up my alley, just because I like to do things that are a little bit different. I didn't want to just have my name on the wall or on the scoreboard. I like to just get outside the box a little bit. And so that was, for me, it was a fun way to get our name out there. And I think the players had some fun with it. And the thing that I like the most is going back to my kids, when they heard it on on the announce. We'd go to the games, and then when they hear it on the announcement or whatever, it was a really cool moment when they were like, "That's my dad." And so I'm not playing for the Bells, but I feel like I was getting some props too. So it all worked out. And I'm a pretty humble guy, so I was blushing, but on the inside, it was like the proud dad moment. One of my sons is probably going to be a baseball player and a football player and all those things, and the other one's probably more likely to be an announcer or the guy that tapes your ankles. So, but they both, yeah. I mean, that's how kids are, right? So.
Right. Hey, man, we need everybody. We need guys who can tape ankles, guys and girls, everybody, and announcers too. It's all important stuff. So. That's
well,
really
it's job
cool, man.
security. As long as people have ankles, there's going to be an ankle tape.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how much longer people have ankles? Not really.
I mean, the world's changing, man, but I don't know if it's changing like that.
Not quite, right? Not quite.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. I mean, we love having baseball people with us. It doesn't really matter for us if you're a baseball person or not. We really want to make everybody a baseball person or a Bells person, but it's good to have those people on board. As far as, I know you enjoy playing softball, stuff like that. With COVID and all that different stuff, obviously we can't play. I know it's making a lot of different changes that way, and also, for yourself and for your business. So, I mean, kind of what are some of the things that you guys are doing because of that, the changes going on, and some ways that you're trying to help support your people in the community a little bit there?
Well, obviously we're still doing business, but we're just doing it in a different way. So I really, really, really feel for some of the other local businesses like the restaurants and the coffee shops and those kind of retail stores, all those, gosh, man. I can't imagine being like that. And we've been able to keep up our service. We didn't miss a beat here in my office. We transitioned to working from home for a short amount of time, and then I came back to the office, and now we kind of take turns being in the office. The door is locked, but we'll still, schedule appointments with customers, and customers will come in and we'll handle those kind of transactions. So, but yeah, we didn't miss a beat technology wise. You can still call the same phone number, get myself or Elise on the phone. And I thought it was really cool the way State Farm responded too. They shifted 30,000 corporate employees from working in the call centers and all the different hubs that they have to working from home to keep them safe. And I think that really minimized a lot of things. Excuse me. And then also from a customer standpoint, State Farm is giving back $2.2 billion to our current customers. So in the state of Washington, it's something like 27% of the premiums earned between March 20th and May 31st. Our customers are going to see that back on their July bills. So like right now, you don't have to wait till renewal. And then just yesterday, it was announced that on the renewals, we're also going to be doing another 11% off your 6-month premium for coming up. So in total over the last, starting in March, right? State Farm's giving away over $4 billion.
Wow.
It's a big number because we're the largest auto insurer in the country. It's something like we insure 1 out of every 5 cars on the road.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's insane. So
it's wild.
A lot. It's a big number. Yeah.
I mean, it's really good to hear that, they've taken the right steps to make sure that they're doing the right things here, and everybody's doing the right things. I mean, and it's a great thing that it hasn't really affected your business in a crazy way. I guess it's kind of too bad that it's a lot harder for you to meet face to face with people now. But, you got to do what we got to do. And that's kind of the situation we're in right now. So
I hear you, man. And you know what? People don't like paying for insurance. It's a necessary evil. I don't like paying for my insurance, to be honest. And if I was independently wealthy, maybe I wouldn't even have insurance. But the thing about it is, the thing that I like about State Farm, once they identified that claims were going to be down, and when claims are down, profit's going up, right? But instead of holding on to that money, they gave it back, and they're trying to help out when they can. And that's right now. And full disclosure, claims are down. I used to deal with 2 or 3 claims a day, and I'm dealing with maybe 3 to 5 a week now. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're giving that money back. And that's something that State Farm's done since I've been on board. So if profits start getting, if claims are down, then the rates go down. And what's been happening since 2014, there's been a lot more accidents. People are messing around on their phones. Get off your phones. Get up, everyone here. Get off your phone while you're driving. Get off of it. Stop texting. You're running into people and you don't even know. You don't even know these people and you're running into them. Don't do that. It's bad. It hurts your rates. Everyone. So
wise words from an insurance agent there. Get off your darn phones, everybody. I know I'm guilty sometimes, so got to take it to heart. That's for sure.
Man, I know. Well, and you know what? The worst is I really want a motorcycle, but I see all these people on their phones and I'm just like, man, I'm not worried. I'd probably crash my motorcycle, but I can justify not getting a motorcycle because I see everyone on their phones. Get off your phones. It's summertime. There's going to be motorcycles. Get off your phones. So.
For sure. I mean, I'm right there with you. It's freaky. I mean, kind of going off of that to a certain degree. Obviously, being an insurance agent, you probably see some interesting things and claims here and there. Good that claims have been going down. That's a great thing. Love to hear that people aren't getting into accidents and such now. But do you have any stories that you can share? Anything interesting that's happened out there in the insurance world you think the Bells fans might be interested in?
Well, I'll say this. So we try to do things a little bit different here, and I'm worried about the same things that you are. But typically, when a customer comes to me, they are more concerned about their stuff than their future income and money that they have in the bank and things like that. And so they're looking at insurance as a way to, if my house burns down, who's going to rebuild my house? Or if I get into a car accident, are you going to be able to fix my car? And we do all those things really well. But I think what sets us apart is the way that we have conversations with people. And so the one story that always sticks out with me is I had a doctor that moved here from Texas. And when he came here, he had all the stuff. And it was all insured. But one thing I noticed was his liability coverage was low. Okay. And so liability is what pays other people if you're in an accident or if something bad happens and it's your fault. So if you're liable for something, it was your fault. Liability is what keeps you from getting sued. If there was no such thing as insurance and you got into a car accident, then what would happen, Nate, if you rear-ended me, I would sue you. And a judge would be like, yeah, Nate, you shouldn't have been on your phone. You shouldn't have rear-ended Terry. So you got to fix his car. That's $10,000. Plus Terry missed work. Here's another $10,000. And here's this and here's this. So you owe Terry $30,000. And in the state of Washington, what would happen is they garnish your wages and they take 25% of your income for up to 10 years just to pay for it, right?
Brutal.
And that sucks. Yeah, it's brutal. So this doctor moved here from Texas. And I'm looking at this and he's got all the stuff. He's got dogs. He's got a beautiful home and all this, but he didn't have really good liability coverage. And he had a financial advisor, and me and this person went back and forth. And I said, listen, this guy needs what's called a personal liability umbrella policy. And a personal liability umbrella policy is a policy that only pays liability. It's only to other people. And when the limits of liability on another policy are exhausted, so something bad happens and you don't have enough insurance to cover it, then this will kick in and it'll pay an additional $1 million on top. Okay. So check this out. Here's the story. It took 3 months and he finally got this umbrella policy. All right. And a lot of people don't know this, but your homeowner's insurance liability covers you even when you're not at your house. Okay. So he took his dog to the dog park and his dog is playing, and there's obviously other people there. And his dog went up, and what do dogs do if they see someone? They run up and they'll sniff them, right? Mm-hmm. And there was an older gentleman that had a cane, and he didn't appreciate getting sniffed while he's at the dog park with his dog.
Oh no.
So he pokes the dog with a cane while the dog's walking away. He like poked him in his behind, and the dog spun around and bit him in the calf, right?
Oh God.
The old guy falls down, he's bleeding, and my customer goes, hey, I'm a doctor. Let me check this out and see what I can do. And the guy's like, no, I think I'm fine. And my doctor goes, no, you should probably go to the emergency room. Let me drive you there. And the guy's like, no, I'll take myself. And my doctor's like, okay, let me help you round your dog up. So he rounds the dog up, puts it in the car with him. And he goes to the ER, or he went to urgent care. They stitched him up, and it was like a $6,000 bill, right? And my doctor calls me. He says, "Hey, I just want to give you a heads up. I was just in an incident dog park. Here's what happened. Everything seems fine. If anything else changes, I'll call you." Well, the next day, I got a call from an attorney, and it was an attorney for the guy that got bit by the dog. And he's asking me a bunch of questions, and I said, "Nope. Well, here's what we're going to do. Let's get a claim started and all this." Well, guess what? 4 or 5 days later, guess what I get? I get a letter saying, "Hey, we want $649,000 because there's a $6,000 medical bill, pain and suffering. This guy's afraid to even walk his dog now. He won't even leave the house. Your doctor is a doctor and left him there to die." Like, just made up all these claims, right?
Brutal.
So check this out. This was 2 months after he signed up for this umbrella policy. If that hadn't, if I had taken no from his financial advisor without explaining that situation, his homeowner's policy only had $100,000 worth of coverage. So we may have paid that out, but then he's on the hook for the rest. If a judge is like, "Yeah, you know what, you really should pay him more," and he's a doctor. So the problem is, if you're a doc, you have the means to pay that money, and he's going to get it. So that's what insurance is about, and that's what I do different. If someone comes in here with an Escalade, brand new $100,000 Escalade, I obviously want to insure the Escalade, but I'm more worried about what happens if he runs into someone else, because if you hit someone and you're in a $100,000 car, they're coming after some stuff. People are there. Oh man. And I think you'd be surprised, Nate, at how inexpensive it is to go from some of these lower liability limits to something that's going to protect you, like actually protect you. And so those are the kind of conversations that we have. We just want to make sure whatever you buy insurance wise from us, because I don't sell insurance here. We have conversations and we let you make a decision. I just wanted you to understand that if something bad happens, here's what I can do for you, because insurance is just about transferring the risk. So if you want to take on all that risk, drive around without any insurance. That's okay. I mean, it's illegal,
don't
but
do
drive
that.
around with
Don't
really
do that.
small limits. Don't drive with no insurance. Please
Yeah.
do not cut this. Do not edit this that way, Nate. Oh man, I would never be a good politician. But what I'm saying is, you know what I mean, right? Like, it's about transferring the risk. So do you want to risk having to pay someone $1 million if your dog bites them? Or do you want to pay an extra $150 a year and let State Farm take on that risk? Because that's literally all it costs. So me and him talking about that umbrella policy was an extra $150 a year. And that got him out of all the stress involved. Like, maybe that guy wouldn't have got $650,000, but how much time, how much in attorney fees and all that stuff would he have to spend to get out of it? And he got out of it for $150 because I had a conversation with him and his financial advisor. It took a little bit. They finally understood where I was coming from, and they thought the risk should have been transferred to me. And so that's what we do. And that's really the thing, man. Insuring your car is great. Insure your house is very important. But that liability, whether you're driving or a dog or riding your bicycle, you're liable for something. What if you just push a shopping cart by accident into me at Fred Meyer and I blow my knee out? That's a problem.
Never know.
And that could be your fault.
Yep.
I don't know. That's why I'm always, my head's on a swivel. My head's on a swivel, Nate.
For sure. I mean, I think if we learned anything here, it's A, talk to your insurance agent, and B, maybe you should just go talk to Terry instead. I don't know. But,
I'm glad you said B, Nate, because that's what I was going to say. You can talk to your agent, but talk to Terry too, because then I think you'll know.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the
Even
day,
if you just need a second opinion, because I'm the kind of guy that'll say, you know what, that's exactly right. Your insurance guy did you right, or gal.
Doesn't matter, right? And I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about being able to have that open conversation with whoever it is. And, I know that you're a great guy to do that with. So, if anybody's looking, this is your man right here.
Well, and here's the other thing too, Nate, and I'll leave you alone, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but your insurance policy is only as good as your insurance agent. So, and I never expect, and I wouldn't expect you, Nate, to know anything about your policy. So when you go, but the thing that scares me is if you go and let's just say you go online and you go to one of these online carriers. If you go there and you're just picking buttons and you're like, wow, that's a good deal, you might not realize that for $2 more, you could have done something that doubly protects you. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we're at. Because the things that I say when I'm talking about liability to people make no sense. And they think, oh, 50,000 or 100,000, I'll do 50. But then when I say it's literally 89 cents a month more to double it, don't you think that makes sense?
It's about as common sense as it gets, it feels like. That 89 cents a month, I would never notice. I've never noticed it being gone. So I'm right there with you, boss.
Yeah.
Just one thing I want to leave you with to ask here. Obviously, no baseball, no softball this summer. Any fun plans besides that you got going on? Anything fun you want to do that you haven't been able to do other summers, or?
It's hard to make plans right now, Nate.
Sure,
because I don't know. I will say my plans are transitioning from maybe taking some airplane trips to doing more road trips. So
right.
I've got some friends in Northern California with a houseboat that I might go visit. My dad just recently moved to Wyoming. My brother's getting married, so I'll probably go to Wyoming. But I think that our plans have changed as a family from, traveling across country via plane to maybe doing a couple road trips here and there, exploring local. Like the other thing too, we live in, like, I've lived all over the country. This is the best place. Like, we live in a really awesome place, and there's so many things that people will drive hours. People will drive days to get here to do those things. People move from other parts of the country to do the things, and then the locals don't do it. So get outside and do some of that and fall in love with this place again, because we've got the time to do it now. And how ironic is it, Nate, that the weather was so awesome as we got locked in our homes? It was like the best spring ever, man.
So
we're all inside. Oh, it's
like been so beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Today sucks, but it's been a great spring.
It's been way too nice. Ridiculously nice. I feel like every field's still underwater by this time of year usually, and now everything's already dry. It's weird.
I know.
But
yeah. It's killing me.
It's all about getting outside and take those car trips, and all the more reason to make sure that your insurance policy is all in line right there too. So if you're driving around.
Good plug, Nate. That's a really good plug.
I got you. All right. Well, thanks so much, Terry, man. It's been great talking to you. Hopefully we get to talk again soon.
Before you go, I was going to say, if you ever want to talk about insurance, you can call me at 360-389-5938. Terry Stach State Farm. We're on Bakerview Road, right behind the IHOP, and we'll take care of you.
That they will. Gotta plug it right there. Awesome. Well, again, he's got the ball up there and everything. Perfect. No, you got to talk though to show him the ball.
If you just come, here. Oh yeah, good point. I forgot it only shows it. Yeah, we've got a bunch of these. So if you come in, I'll throw one at you.
There you go. Awesome. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Terry. Awesome. Have a good rest of your day. Hope to talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, thanks, Nate. I'll talk to you guys later.
Have a good